What is up, everyone? It is your man on fire mentor, David Mailer, coming to you today live, and I am ready to dive into the center of the fire with each and every one of you and discuss the hot topic. And what is that topic today? It has to do with it's never about getting her back. So, what am I talking about? Or what are we talking about? Well, perhaps you've been following some of my lives over the last few months, over the last few years, and one of the greatest pains that a man faces, and one of the things that makes him reach out quite often into the Man on Fire world, the Man on Fire community, looking for my support, is they say something to the effect of, David, how do I get her back? So let me preface by saying, Man on Fire is not about a quick fix. It's not about a magical pill, a magical potion, a magical lotion, a magical genie. It's not about a gimmick. It's not about a trick. It's not about anything that's not authentic. Man on Fire is all about helping you live into the most congruent version of yourself, where you're stepping into your true potential as a man. And my experience has been over the last 8 years with the majority of the men who say, I want to get her back, I want to get her back, is that accompanies some form of a skittish type of energy, a frenetic type of energy, a codependency type of energy, a intertwining of your strings with another person where you have externally sourced your validation based on whether or not you get her, or whether or not you get the job, or whether or not you have the house, or whether or not the kids are talking to you, or whether or not you're making money. And you as a man haven't necessarily grown yourself enough where you're in your center, you're in the knowingness of exactly who you are, and you've gotten to a place where you're imperturbable, you're unwavering, you're steadfast, you're solid, meaning you're solidified in the foundation and in the knowing of exactly who you are. And most men have not done the work. Most men have not taken a deep enough dive into the fire. And why I say fire is because most people don't like to be uncomfortable. In fact, your growth is in direct relationship to your tolerance to get uncomfortable. We've heard that your growth begins at the end of your comfort zone. The problem is most of us have fallen into a life of complacency. Most of us have fallen into a life of neutrality. Most of us have an intolerance to pain. We don't want to be uncomfortable. We don't want pain. We don't like things to be rocked. We don't like to confront and to face and to handle. And we've become weak-kneed, and we are lacking the fortitude and the backbone to look at our life and to take it on, head on, meaning deal with what's in front of you. And so more often than not, when a man reaches out and says, how do I get her back? The first thing that, we have to look at is, well, where are you? Meaning, the saying that we have in our community is it's never about getting her back. It's always about getting yourself back. And what does that even mean? Well, it means that there's a version of you that is coherent, that is congruent, that is authentic, that is aligned with the real version of you. And your journey through life is really to approximate into that version. If you can imagine, you got 10 of you, 100 of you, 1,000 of you, even 10,000 of you, like the 10,000 Buddhas. Which one of those is the real you? Because many of us are wearing masks, many of us are actors in a play called our life, and many of us have not really lived into the authenticity of who we truly are. Now, if you've watched or listened to a lot of my other lives or the podcasts, you'll recognize, well, we've all been hurt, we've all had trauma, we've all been wounded, from sexual abuse to emotional abuse to mental abuse, and we all had to put up a little bit of defense. We had to bend ourselves and contort to become who we needed to become in order to survive, in order to get through life, in order to kind of feel like we're worthy enough, we're good enough, we're lovable enough. And we did that as a compensation to try to get away from the different hurts and wounds that we have, which never works, by the way, because in the Man on Fire world, we're teaching men actually how to face and feel, how to drop from your head into your heart, how to drop from your head into your body, how to actually face the stuff you've been running from your whole life, which you then medicate, and you find all sorts of pain management advices, ways of distracting so you don't have to deal with the stuff that you buried. In fact, most of you are like, I never want to go there again. I never want to dig that up again. I never want to open up Pandora's box, because there's a terror that if you do, you'll never get out of there. So we've gotten too sophisticated and too creative at outrunning or trying to outrun our pain, outrun our fears of feeling inadequate, feeling like we're not enough, feeling unlovable. This is something I just taught at our Man on Fire Live Seize Your Destiny 3-day event. For those of you that were in California, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And how this relates to getting her back is that for most men, when they're saying that, what they're really saying is, I feel inadequate, I don't feel like I'm good enough, and I'm not going to feel whole, and I'm not going to feel complete unless I get her back. And you're coming from a place of jealousy, you're coming from a place of lack, you're coming from a place of scarcity, you're coming from a place of unworthiness, you're coming from a place of feeling unlovable, you're coming from a place of, what if this pain never ends, and if I could just get her back, if I could just get her back, if I could just get her back, then everything's going to be okay. No, it won't. Because you have to first get back yourself. If the woman that has left you, or that is leaving you, or you're separated, or you're on your way to divorce, if that's where you're at, and you're thinking, you know, how do I get her back, and tomorrow she comes back, nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. Why? What have you done between yesterday and today that would have made a difference, where all of a sudden you're going to have a brand new relationship? You see, more often than not, when a relationship is coming towards an end, or it looks like you're headed towards separation, or there's been a breakup, or possible divorce, sadly and not sadly, this has been a massive wake-up call. And I suspect that you had a knock on the door way before that. You had whispers, you had a gentle knock, you had a gentle push, and then bam, you had to have something, whether it was a car accident, whether it was a health concern, a heart attack, a stroke, cancer, you name it, a separation, a divorce. Something has to happen to wake up the stubbornness of a man, to snap him out of the current reality that he's been living in, which is most likely a hypnotic state of complacency or neutrality, or even below that. And something loud enough had to get your attention, because we've become good at becoming comfortably numb. We've become too good at pretending there's no problems. We've become too good at not being present, too good at not paying attention on a deeper level, too good at not having the acuity and the sensitivity to be aware of our environment. And our wife, our lady that's in our life, our queen, is a part of that environment. And so a lot of you sometimes will say, oh, I didn't even see this coming, I thought everything was okay. That's an even bigger problem, because it just means how asleep you've been. And sadly, it will have to come to a separation or a divorce, or the threat of, in order to wake you up. Now, please understand, on today's live, I'm not speaking to the guy right now who knows that the relationship that he's in is not healthy for him, or has a soul knowing, a heart knowing, a gut knowing, an intuitive knowing, an instinct that the person I'm with is not for me. If you're in a relationship and you know it's not healthy for you, end it with grace, end it with dignity, end it with respect, end it with love. Don't ever end it with fingers pointing. That's not how we do it as men. That's not what a masculine leader does. That's not what a man on fire does. If you're in a relationship that you don't feel is healthy for you, then have the courage to get out and do it in a way that's respectful. Be the person that protects and guards and is the gatekeeper to the feminine heart. We're not here to put any woman down. We're here to build them up. And if you know that you deserve more, and you're in a relationship that doesn't support your own evolution, okay, then have the courage to end it with dignity and grace, as I just shared. But coming back to the guy that says, well, how do I get her back? My question is, where have you been? If she came back tomorrow, how are you different? Have you grown? Have you up-leveled? Are you truly living into your potential? Do you hang out in a culture where you're supported, you're challenged, you're being held accountable to a higher level, a higher version of yourself? What would be different? Are you going to stop all of a sudden playing video games? Are you going to give up the weed? Are you going to give up the alcohol? Are you going to give up leaking your energy? Are you going to really put all of your focus, all of your attention, all of your energy on the woman that is now all of a sudden left you, and now you want her back, as if getting her back all of a sudden is going to make you happy again? No, it won't, because you haven't done the work. Now, for those of you that are listening right now and you have done the work, good for you. Good for you if you've had the courage to want to grow yourself as a man, if you've had the fortitude, the commitment, and you have the right support structures in place, because we all know that willpower dies down, right? Your drive and your motivation, those things always fade. This is why Man on Fire, the community, is so successful, because we're not trying to do it alone. We're not trying to be a lone wolf. We're traveling in a pack. We're doing it as a brotherhood. We're doing it as a community, and we're pushing each other. We're pushing each other. We're pushing each other. We're stretching each other past the comfort zone. Let me show you what you're made of. Let me remind you what you're made of, because every time you forget, I'm going to remind you. But if you're trying to do it on your own, as soon as you go into the forgetting, you're screwed, because nobody's challenging you. Nobody is holding you accountable. Man on Fire is all about holding a man responsible and accountable to his true potential. Why? When you show up in this version of yourself, we recognize that everyone in your life wins. From your kids to your wife, maybe it's an ex-wife, family, strangers, those you haven't met yet. Everyone wins when you grow, when you up-level, when you start to live into a more congruent version of yourself. We're all here as men to be leaders, masculine leaders, shining our light, living from our heart, not our head. Emotional depth, acuity and sensitivity to sensing our environment, sensing the deeper needs of our children and of our lover, our wife, having this awareness. But most men are still in the quick fix, I want it now, not willing to do the work, give me the gimmick, give me the shortcut, tell me what line I need to say. Sorry, that's not what Man on Fire is about. Not whatsoever. This community is for the man that is ready to actually roll up his sleeves and do the work. It's for the man that recognizes he's built for more and he's been playing small. It's for the man that knows he lost himself. Maybe you crush it in business, right? We have multi-millionaires in our community, guys that own planes and boats and you name it, multiple houses. But if you haven't learned how to be present, if you haven't learned how to drop from your head into your heart, if you haven't learned to grow your capacity to feel your emotions and grow your empathy and your compassion, most likely relationships are going to be something that you're not having mastery of. Yes, we can crush it in business, but can you have the same level of success? Can you have the same level of joy and freedom and fulfillment in your intimate relationships? And sadly, most men would say, no, I can't. I'm not able to do that. I now recognize that the strategies that worked in business don't work in relationships. Why? Because in business, you get to give all of your focus to the business, and it's more rational, it's more analytical, it's more logical, and that doesn't work in relationships. Relationships require depth, they require intimacy, they require you paying attention and being present on a whole new level. So for the guy out there that is in that, frenetic energy, that what do I do? I gotta get her back. I'd say slow down for a moment. Let's get you back, brother. Let's find out who the real you is. Let's take honest inventory. Where are you at in your life? Who do you see when you look in the mirror? What's the truth? Do you see a man that's crushing it? Do you see a man that is the guardian and protector of the feminine heart? Do you see a man that's been present, that has empathy and compassion? Do you see a man that has been leaking his energy? Do you see a fake, a fraud, a phony? Who do you see truly when you look in the mirror? And sadly, when most men look in the mirror, they're not happy with who's looking back at them. They're not feeling like, wow, I'm killing it, I'm crushing it, I'm living life fully, I'm loving, I'm giving, I'm serving with every ounce of my beingness. No, most men can't admit that. And that means you have regret. And that means if you, God forbid, were to face your funeral tomorrow or today, you're not happy if life is coming to an end, because you know deep down inside of you, you got more to give. You know there's more love, there's more service, there's more of you that you can offer to the world. So what's stopping you? Why aren't you doing it? And as I was sharing earlier, most of us are waiting for that breakdown. Most of us are waiting for that trauma, that tragedy to snap us out of our coma, wake us up out of complacency, a life of neutrality, and say, pay attention, pay attention, pay attention. You fall into a deep sleep. You got too comfortable. You took her for granted, or you took them for granted, the kids for granted, life for granted. Wake up and know you're built for more. You were built to shine your light. You were built to be the nodal point. You were built to have your whole self illuminated so that others can be reminded of who they are just in your mere presence. You were here to be a masculine leader. You were here for influence. You're here for impact. You're here to make a difference in the world. You're here to leave a legacy. You're not here to be caught up in problems. You weren't put on earth to be a victim. You weren't put on earth to have relationships fall apart. No. How did that happen? You fell asleep. And most of you don't have a mentor. Most of you don't have a supportive culture in your life. Maybe you got your golf buddies. Maybe you got your friends. Maybe you got family. And good for you that you have that. But are those people the ones that are pushing you and stretching you and holding you to the fire of your greatness? Are those the ones that are pushing you to rise to your true potential? Would they be in celebration of that, or would they be threatened by that? You see, as you age as a man, you become super mindful of your most precious and treasured commodity. It's called time. Lost time is never found, according to Ben Franklin. And as we age, we realize that's the commodity that we must treasure. So who are you hanging out with? What are you doing? Are you playing video games? Are you drinking alcohol, smoking weed? How much time are you spending watching porn, masturbating, fantasizing about other women? And then all of a sudden, she wants to leave you, and I gotta get her back, I gotta get her back. No, brother, you're gone. You haven't been back. You haven't been the real you. You're out of alignment. You're out of integrity with your own soul. How the hell are you supposed to get her back? What are you gonna do? Read some book that's going to give you a magic line? You're going to pay for some course that gives you these magical lines? Sorry, it won't work. And how I know it won't work? Because energy always wins. And if your energy doesn't match what you're saying, no one's buying it. Because it will be coming from your mind and it won't be coming from your heart. Yeah, I could give anyone the things that I would say, but they're not going to work for you because it's not real for you. You're not owning it yet in your body. So you want to know how to get her back? Give up needing to get her back and get yourself back. Right? The story I always give is Dan, who came into our community years ago. He's still with us. She called off the engagement and said, don't text me, don't email me, don't show up at my door, don't call me. So, of course, Dan says to us, well, how the hell am I supposed to get her back? She won't even let me talk to her. Quite the dilemma. Although, when you come into the Man on Fire Brotherhood, you start to grow into perspectives that reside outside of what you can see. And we help Dan recognize that women are incredibly sensitive beings that can sense things. And we don't have to be in front of them to sense that we're changing as a man. And we told Dan, grow yourself. Take a year to grow yourself as a man. Work on you. Don't put your main focus on getting her back. Put your focus on getting yourself back. Grow yourself as a man. And if you're supposed to be back with her, the forces, the powers that be will conspire to support that. But it has to be authentic. It can't be so that you could finally feel like you're enough. It's not this Jerry Maguire thing, you complete me. No, you got to complete yourself. You got to get back to being the real you. So Dan put his head down. He got pushed. He got stretched. He got challenged by the brothers. And what ended up happening was by the 11th month of being in our community, in one of our coaching programs, in our inner chamber, he had grown so much that, of course, the stars aligned and communication started to happen again with his ex-fiancé. And within a couple of months of that, they were engaged and they were married. That is without any communication. He gave up the codependency and that skittish, phonetic energy of needing to get her back, and he realized it wouldn't matter if she came back the next day because he doesn't have the tools, he doesn't have the strategies, and he hasn't done the work yet to move from his head into his body, from his head into his heart. So you're still going to have these visceral reactions. You're still going to have these polarized triggers where you're interacting. You're still going to be the same you if you haven't done the work yet. So for the man out there that's listening, I want to get her back, I want to get her back, you got to get yourself back. There's hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of millions of women out there. You can be with anyone. It's not about the woman. It's about getting you back. In fact, it's never really about her. Not to say that you don't have an amazing woman, but it has to do with you finding the right partner within yourself. You can't have a healthy, functional relationship until you brought forward the right person inside of you to bring into that relationship. It's less about your partner and it's more about the partner in you that you're bringing forward. And again, most men want the quick fix and they're not willing to do the work. So for the guys that are listening right now that are ready to get dirty and you're ready to stop living below the standard that you know you're capable of living at, you're done selling your soul short. You are done selling others short of the real version of you. And you are ready to do the work, and you want support, you want challenge, you want to be held accountable. You could always go and click on one of our links or go to our website, manonfirerising.com, and there will be a link for you to apply to have a discovery call with one of our coaches. It's not some free coaching session, just for clarity. It's not, again, so we could just like give you some magical saying, a magical phrase, and your whole life turns around. It's for the guy that actually wants to explore what our coaching programs are all about. And you're ready to make a financial investment in yourself, a time investment in yourself, and an energy investment in yourself. For the guy that just wants more free information, you want to learn more about Man on Fire, you're not in a position or a place where you can invest in yourself yet, please just continue to follow me on lives on the different social platforms. The calls are for the guys that want to explore our different coaching programs. We have virtual programs and then we have live events. And it's for the guy that actually wants to be in a more contained brotherhood where more eyes are on you, where you can't wiggle and squiggle and worm your way out. You will be supported, you will be challenged, and you will be held accountable. And again, yes, this involves a financial investment. And if you're in a place where you could just barely get by and barely pay your bills, now is not the time to apply to speak to one of our coaches. So please don't start hitting us with messages, oh, we're all about the money. No, we're not. I've been coming on here for over 5 years straight, every Wednesday for 5+ years, an hour every week, giving you my time and serving the community. I did that for 5 years. I was answering questions, and I'll continue to do it. We're here to help every single man, regardless of where you're at, but specifically the coaching programs are for the men that are ready to make an investment in themselves. And if you're not there, don't be mad at us, be mad at yourself for not putting yourself in a position where you can invest in yourself. This is about you up-leveling, this is about you growing, this is about you stretching, and every man should be in a place where you can be able to invest in yourself. And if you're not there, you should be pissed at you, not at us. Be pissed at yourself that you put yourself in a position where money is a hindrance to you stepping into a bigger and a better life. And by the way, it's never really about the money. It's about you becoming a new version of you. It's about you becoming a more resourceful version of you. It's not a lack of resources like money and time we look at as a resource. It's never really about that. It has to do with you have to get more resourceful so you can birth into a new version of yourself that gets different outcomes in your life. So if you're a new version of you, of course you could generate more money. That's the whole idea of why people join programs. And I can tell you that I've had many times in my life where I had zero, I had nothing. Didn't know how the rent was getting paid next month, but I had a will and I had a desire. And when I wanted to invest in my growth, I always found a way to come up with money. So I'm not talking right now specifically about Man on Fire. I'm talking about for the guys out there that have hid behind the money excuse. This is not about joining Man on Fire. This is about stop doing that to yourself. There's lots of things out there right now that can absolutely help you and support you. Find a way to make it happen. If you find a way to pay for your cigarettes, if you find a way to pay for your alcohol, if you find a way to pay for the strip clubs and the porn and all that stuff, then find a way to invest in your growth. You'd be shocked if you looked at all the stuff that you own, the guns, the cars, all the crap that you don't need, the clothes. You say, I have no money, I have no money. No, you have money. You're spending it on the wrong things. And as a man, you should be investing in yourself and in your growth. And when you do that, I promise you, your whole life will turn around. Whether you invest with Man on Fire or whether you invest with another company, whatever you're looking for, it will find you. That's how it always works. We've all heard, when the student's ready, the teacher will appear. There's no accident. We've heard thousands of guys say, just Man on Fire just, landed on my Facebook feed at the perfect time. It happens. It happens when you're ready. So, for the guy that wants to get her back, as a reminder, if you tuned into this live a little bit late, it's not about getting her back, it's about getting you back. Now, some of you still are going to send me a message and go, oh, it's too late for me, she's already gone. Like, stop it. Please stop being a victim. Please stop complaining. Please stop bitching. Please stop it. I'm telling you this man to man, no sugarcoating. Stop being the victim, stop blaming other people for your life, and start taking fierce accountability and responsibility for your life. If you want to have a different life, grab the bull by the horns and get to it. Get to work. Put yourself in a culture that will support you, challenge you, and hold you to the fire and hold you accountable to the real version of yourself. something you will always get from me, guys, is I will give it to you straight. But I promise you, for those of you that have been following me long enough, or those of you who have met me in person, you know that there's a depth and there's a deep, deep, deep caring in my heart for my fellow brothers. I'm not here to put you down, I'm here to build you up, but at the same time, I'm not going to support you in being a victim. And I'm not downsizing anything that may have happened to you. We've had brothers come to our community and things happen to them that I wouldn't wish on anybody. But I also know the greater the hurt, the greater the wound, the greater the trauma, the greater the gift that you're here to bring the world. And if you're not bringing your gifts, that's why you're in pain. It's not because of what happened to you. It's because you haven't stepped into your true potential and your true greatness. So for the guy that wants to get her back, give that up and get yourself back. I love you guys. It's your man on fire mentor, David Mailer, helping men rise with passion, with power, and living a life that's deeply on purpose. I'll see you guys next week. So much love, brothers. Make sure you put in the chat your greatest takeaway from today. And also do us a favor and smash up that like key. Take a moment to smash up the like key. Help us with the different algorithms on the different platforms. How you can always get back to us is hit that like key, throw us some fire signs, throw in the comments, and help other men have more ability to see these lives. All right, guys, bye for now.